Well, now you're fighting back though a little bit. Then those things look like they hurt, Lydia. That's why I don't want to get on your bad side because those things look like they definitely would hurt.
They do.
Did he just say like a sign of the cross there? Did it look like he just attempted to do a sign of the cross? I think when I watched it the first time, that's what I thought. But obviously, you're certainly putting a number on him. That's for sure.
And he's starting to regret all of his life choices.
And we see a lot of it all here. And, he's tries, but he gets kind of certainly an action packed clothesline there, which gives him a little bit of a breather and gets him back in the match. And we see now just some of the things he's about to do and take it to you here. So what's going on in your mind here now that obviously he's come back a little bit in the match? What's going through your mindset to get you back in this?
What's going through my mind is I gotta get him down and keep him down long enough to get the win. And now what's going through my mind is that he has tacos.
Well, he obviously didn't put them in the microwave or in the oven to cook them because he's obviously got a box of tacos, which for the audience, he is Taco Loco, the taco man himself. But did he hit you with the taco box? Did I see that correctly, or do I need my eyes to get checked? What's it like to be, I guess, dealing with tacos in a ring? Not everybody, it's funny. I've had guys like, for example, Jimmy Controversy took a syringe and put it through Hardcore's lip. We had guys get hit with light tubes all the time on Sportswire Radio, barbed wire. I mean, Brian White got basically lit up with firecrackers last week on the show. We showed that, but it's yet tacos is what you're dealing with. And what's it like to be kind of dealing with tacos in the ring?
It's messy. He's
Well,
wasting the taco shells.
Well, that's a good point, and that is we don't want to waste food, especially with food insecurity and food waste in the world out there. But different conversation for a different time. But you'll probably laugh at this, Lydia, as we're watching the match here. I have actually never eaten tacos. I have never had a taco once in my life, and he did a nice power bomb there, and you're about to just kick out in the nick of time there, and he's now got some offense in there, but he's certainly surprised. He thought the match was over, but you found a way to kick out and just talk about the gumption you had there to be able to get out just in the nick of time.
I was just, instinct right there just to kick out and keep my title.
I'm always curious about this. When I never asked wrestlers much about this, but when you hear that count, when the referee's going 1, 2, is there is it difficult sometimes when you just take a move like that power bomb, that sit down power bomb there to kind of just in time get before the 3? Is there ever like something you think about there? I'm always wondering, and this I haven't asked it much to wrestlers in this spot, but what is that like more or less?
I'm just thinking, like, as I'm hearing the ref's hand just like hit the mat, I'm just thinking.
And boy, okay, if he would have connected with that sort of quick cannonball there, I mean, it would have been, say goodnight, Gracie, or say goodnight, Lydia. That would have been the match. But obviously, he's down for the count here. And if you want to follow Lydia Myerz, you can certainly do that here in a couple of different ways. You can check her out on Instagram, Facebook. She got a Pro Wrestling Tees page. That's her links here. If you want to also follow Superstar Wrestling, you're more than welcome to do that at Superstar Wrestling on YouTube. Definitely hit that sub button for them. This match has gotten nearly 1,000 views. Go out there and please support them. They do a great job, and they have another show coming up here on July 20th. We'll absolutely talk about there. So thank you so much to everybody for tuning in here, and please support those that support us. But yeah, looks like he's starting to get frustrated here for the first time. I mean, throwing all those tacos out there. I mean, it's certainly, now he looks like he ain't Taco Loco. He looks like he's about to be insane in the membrane, to quote Cypress, or insane in the membrane, whatever they called it at this point. But there you have it.
Yeah, Taco's definitely he's not the same Taco Loco that I once knew.
I think he's not even the same person we once knew about 10 or 12 minutes ago. And it looks like here you're about to it looks like you had some type of grater there, and you graded something out of that, and it looks like he's basically about to see. And you've more, Yep. And you're
Maybe cupcake.
morphing. Yeah, I was gonna say you more. I was about to say you morphed into that, and it's gonna be. He's gonna now be in for it. There's no question about it, and he's trying. He's definitely trying to get a comeback in here. But something tells me that this comeback ain't gonna work here. There's no something about that in my mind. We'll obviously see for the audience, but certainly it's been a fun match. I'll say that. What is he like? I'm curious for the audience. You've wrestled a lot of different people, obviously male and female, but what does he bring to the table as an opponent that other opponents in your career have not?
What he brings to the table, maybe not necessarily what others haven't, but what he brings and what I really love that he brings is that energy and connection with the crowd. That's what I love that Taco Laco brings.
Does that help you in terms of what you obviously as a wrestler, knowing that he can bring out the crowd and that kind of engagement? Does that give you also as a competitor of his that extra, boost or, keeps you into the match? And you had a nice move there. You just kind of, tossed him back into the ring and it looks like you're about to get him here for the 1, 2, 3. And that was fairly impressive. I'm going to re-show it again for the audience because that was a very, very impressive move there. Let's show it right back out here for the audience, and talk to me about this. Talk to me about this spot we're about to see.
Well, first of all, I was surprised that he brought the fight to Baby. Most people, they just get scared and they run off, but like he was scared at first, but he didn't back down from Baby Cupcake, so that surprised me. And then he's making his way up to the top for a big move.
Yeah, it's about to be a big move, but the only difference is that he's actually going to be the move. He's actually going to be the meal, more or less, and we're about to see it right now. And we see, I think Freak Show is trying to do something here, but he's obviously going to be roadkill. But you actually did almost a nice little press slam here, and it looks like we're about. Yeah, he sees it, he knows it, and how about you? How about your
Nope,
strength right there? How about the strength that you had to be able to pull that off? I mean, talk about that for the audience.
that was all Baby Cupcake strength.
Well,
I just by no man's land and just pulled him down right into the thumbtacks, and that was
well,
it.
Well, I don't think I could have pulled that move off, but that's why you are one of the premier champions in this sport. You've retained your championship, and obviously you're very happy about that. And yeah, he's definitely trying to move his hands. He's definitely wiggling them because he certainly knows that that slam definitely was felt heard around the world. And congratulations on the big victory. And you certainly showed why you are the Love Draft's ultra violent superstar champion, and it certainly makes a lot of people feel very happy. And a lot of people have watched this match, and yep, definitely Taco Loco may not be going for tacos tonight. He might be going more for Advil and maybe a glass of water to maybe help with the pain because he definitely is feeling a world of pain. And obviously, you blow a kiss out there to the audience, and that shows why you are very successful, and it's certainly why people are excited to see what you bring to the table. And I'm sure that was just for Mr. Hanson and Mr. Mike. And you have said it anyway that they can't beat you one-on-one. I'll take this off the screen, and we'll move this off for now. So we'll take this back, and we'll go like this, and we'll certainly put this up to the screen. So big win, feeling very good about that, and big win going into Superstars next show, July 20th. I got to think, right?
Superstar Wrestling New Revolutions tournament. It's a very big tournament that we have every year. It's two parts.
Mm-hmm.
Show. Very
And that's got to be pretty exciting, obviously, middle of summer, and it's got to be just a good feeling to be back at Superstar and to have something like this, more or less.
And then at Summer Haze, Hanson will fall victim.
Really, he will fall victim, Mr. Hansen. So maybe I'll get right back into it before I get to the comments. And I also want to put a plug up because I want to support our friends at Superstar Wrestling. So if we can actually do that right now, I'm going to put the link up here on the screen. So if you'd like to hit the sub button for Superstar Wrestling, and they've got almost 1,000 subscribers, just like me, almost 1,000 subscribers. The irony of it, we're both almost at the same number of YouTube subscribers. So let's support those that support us. And I gave them two subscriptions so far because I actually own the Promo Wrestling Federation and the Pride Wrestling Federation YouTube page. So that's two more for the guys at Superstar. But, talk about Mr. Hansen. Mr. Hansen has said a lot about you. He's made it known for months. And he was suspended. We didn't see him at this show, and him and Mr. Kid Mike. And, it's all going to come to a head, though, with you and him eventually. You know that, and the world knows that.
He knows that, but I don't think he's ready for that. I think that Hansen and Kid Mike, Robert Wright, they're just underestimating me.
Why do you think they're underestimating you after what we just saw, all the success you've had? I mean, you would think at this point, the history, and listen, Mr. Hansen has talked about the relationship he's had with you in the past. Why do you say that they're underestimating you, though?
Either they're underestimating me, or deep down they know that.
Well, you said that you know that they can't beat you one-on-one. You said that about 2 weeks ago.
Now they know that, so that's why they have to do things like attack me when I'm not ready and take me out just to get a win. Thus, why they got suspended and they weren't at the last SSW show. By the way, they're in the trash, so I decided to just wear it before I burn it.
So why would you? So obviously we kind of alluded to this. Now let's get into Mr. Hansen a little bit. So we alluded to this at the top. You're wearing a Van Hansen shirt. Interesting choice. So why a Van Hansen shirt? In a sense, are you maybe subscribing to the same things that your opponents have or Mr. Hansen has? I'm just curious about that. For the audience, is that you think maybe getting into the head of Mr. Hansen that you're wearing his shirt? Talk to me about that. It's a very interesting strategy from you, champ.
Not very much getting into head. That's what I do. That's what Lydia does.
Do you think it'll work?
I know it's working. I know it's working because why else every time they've been on Sportzwire, they just can't seem to keep my name out of their mouth.
You've been the big topic. Van was here last month. It was 2 Mondays ago. Van was here 2 Mondays ago, and you were basically, I would say, 20 minutes of the talk. He spent a lot of time on you. He talked about basically he's coming for you. He's coming for that championship, and
Like what? Obsessed with me.
He said, well, I can't repeat what he's continually said, what he wants to do to you. I can't say that because I do have kids that actually listen to my platform. I said that the first time, but you kind of know pretty much what he wants, more or less. Correct, right?
Yeah. But he's not going to get that because, like I've mentioned, I would do anything to keep my titles. Both the Love Drafts Ultraviolet Championship and the Amplified Women's Championship.
What does it mean to you?
Anything.
I could see that. I could see that. I could really see that, and what does it mean to you when I say Lydia 2 belts? Like, what does that mean to you?
In one way, it makes me happy, but also in another way, I know, okay, I have all this responsibility on me now. Like, I'm setting the bar for these titles.
Do you feel like in some ways that the pressure is there, and obviously Mr. Hansen and Mr. Mike get suspended, but you're going to see them. You're going to see them real soon, and they've got the numbers game on you, and you've got the championship belt. But they always say in this sport that the pressure is far more on the champion than the challenger. I mean, what do you make of all that?
There is pressure, but I feel like if I let that pressure get to me, then it'll just overwhelm me. I'll overthink, and then it'll end up like to be my own biggest downfall in the end. So I try not to just think about that. I try to just push that aside.
Do you have any regrets from a few years ago when Mr. Hansen and you were aligned, and Mr. Hansen obviously has talked about that? Is there any regrets from back then, or from your vantage point, or anything that would have avoided this, or no?
I don't have any regrets from that. I'm sure he does, but I don't.
What do you think are his regrets?
I think his regrets are not sticking to my side and turning his back on me, because now he's paying the price.
So you're saying basically what you just alluded to a few minutes ago, that everything that all he thinks about is you and your success, and it eats him up. And he comes on here every so often on Sportswire, and he's been here, I think, like 3 or maybe 4 times. Actually, 4 times he's been here now, and you've been the topic and every time he's been here. And I have no doubt that he'll be here again before August. I have no doubt. We have a show July 20th, another one in August. You're going to see him for sure by then, and I'm sure he'll be here, and you'll be the topic of discussion. You'll certainly be a topic as always, and maybe it'll just be forever that way. Maybe just that's how it's going to be, or how it's got to be from his vantage point. What do you say to all that?
I say that sometimes Hansen can just be all talk.
So really, it's all a facade. Van Hansen, like you say, one-on-one, he can't beat you. Kid Mike can't beat you one-on-one. But specifically, Mr. Hansen, he talks a big game, sure. He comes in there and, he says all these different things. But when you really strip it all down, he's just not this guy that he may portray.
Yep. That's exactly what I am alluding to.
So basically, in some ways, he's really trying to be something that he's not. He's almost, would you be fair to say, from my question to you, is he a pretender? Would you want to say that he's a pretender? Is he somebody that, I don't know, chasing something that he can't have or can't be? I mean, kind of maybe he is a pretender.
I mean, not so much that, but more so that he lost himself and he can't find himself.
And the only way he can find himself is by, beating you and, trying to finally get one over on you, basically, is what you're telling me. Maybe he wasn't the one, and all the success he had in tag teams. Maybe it wasn't due to him. It was really his partners. Maybe really at the end of the day, on his own, the record is what it is, right? Maybe that's a statement that I should make. I mean, your record versus his, right? I mean, it's almost opposite ends of the spectrum, no?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get to some comments here first. I want to come back to that, but I do want to say hello to some people. Mass Malt would like to say, as the Superstar Wrestling Assistant Commissioner, we are proud to have Lydia as our Ultra Violent Champion, and we're proud to have Lydia here on this platform. Certainly, Tommy got to go for tacos. I don't know if my stomach can handle tacos, because I am afraid to have something that I have never eaten. And it's funny because I remember as a kid, my mother would make tacos once in a while, and I just was like, nope, I'm not having tacos, because I remember it wasn't until I want to say I was in high school, my mother started to make tacos. And I was like, when we grew up, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and we never had tacos. It was all of a sudden my mother started to make tacos, and and I just didn't eat them. So I don't think I'm going to go for tacos, but if you want to go for something else, I'll take that. But thank you very much for all that. Speaking of somebody you're going to see coming this Saturday, now I don't know if you caught him on this platform, but he was here in his other alias as the DJ Dirty White Boy. His name is Mr. Andrew Lovelace, and he wanted to say that he wanted to test his skills against Lydia Myerz someday. Now, what do you think about you and Andrew Lovelace's competition? That might be more of a fairer match, right? That would be, I think, a match a lot of people might want to see. I would particularly want to see it. The DJ Dirty White Boy against, the Queen of Zababa, and maybe Cupcake he morphs into the Dirty White Boy skills. I mean, he's the best. He's my resident DJ. He's the best. He's my resident DJ on Sportzwire Radio. And I think that would be a more interesting match, right?
I would.
Maybe this Saturday, you think, right? Who knows? I don't know. So maybe the winner buys each other pizza. Well, then again, right? Is it free pizza at Rockies, or the winner has to? Maybe the winner should buy pizza. Maybe an extra slice. I don't know. Maybe that'd be interesting though. But yeah, I'd love to see you and Andrew. Andrew's going to be here in your chair, I believe. Andrew, is it 2 weeks from tonight or 2 weeks from Wednesday? So Andrew will be here to talk about that, plus Summer Bash, which will be taking place July 5th to July 7th. It's the first ever, really, from what our platform is doing, an all backyard underground independent pro wrestling circuit of basically is the biggest event of the summer. And speaking of people that want to congratulate you, the IMF champion of the world, Mr. Soldier GP, says congratulations on being inducted. And I am certainly very happy that Lydia Myerz is our first women's wrestler actively to be in the Hall of Fame. That is the certificate. We thank you, obviously, for all of your support to everybody out there. So that's Lydia there. But okay, so obviously Van Hansen and Kid Mike, they certainly want to put a number on you. Do you have any final words for them? Anything that you want to tell them that or maybe not want to tell them because you want to leave it for a surprise? I mean, did you feel good about them getting suspended, or did you say, you know what, maybe in the back of your mind that getting them suspended only fuels them and makes them more angry, or anything you want to add on all that?
I didn't get them suspended.
Oh, I know that, but I mean, but they're going to, from their vantage point, they're going to imply that, but they're going to obviously take it out on you, don't you think?
They're going to imply that. They're going to take it out on me. They're going to take it out on Inferno. That was on them. That's what they deserved for what they did.
So there's no concern that they come back and have the extra, I don't know, extra violent, extra murder-like when they come back? No?
Oh, I know they're going to come back and they're going to be, extra murder-like and everything, but I'm prepared for that this time.
But it would be smart on this platform not to admit what you might potentially do, right? It would obviously be very smart from your vantage point.
I'm not going to give away my plans.
That's smart. That's very nice of you, obviously. I would think, especially on this platform, after all, we are the place where everybody comes to. And we know that Mr. Hansen's been a frequent contributor to this platform and a frequent, obviously, place here. But, what did you think? He posted something on his Facebook, and I want to ask you a thought or two on this. He posted it a little while ago before we went on the air, and he said, "We are corrupt, but yet we don't lie." Do you think he meant you or anybody in particular? What did you think about that post he made? Specifically, didn't mention anybody, didn't tag any promotion, but he specifically said, "We are corrupt, but yet we don't lie." What did you make of that?
What I make of that is him referring to we as this whole Murder City hit squad. He tells nothing but the truth. He's taking this whole propagandist thing that he's doing. And that he truly believes that they're all just speaking the truth. Which may or may not.
I guess we'll have to find out, but he really wants a match with you one-on-one. That was pretty much the topic of the conversation when he was here not too long ago. And
He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. He earned it, quote unquote, earned it.
So when you beat him, then will this be the last we hear of you and him, or him obviously back and forth against you and putting you through this, or you don't think it'll ever end?
I think at Summer Haze it's gonna end. It's gonna come to an end, and it will be the last you'll ever hear or possibly see of Van Hansen.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did I just hear that you said Lydia Myerz at Summer Haze, which will be in August, if I'm not mistaken, that you just said that when you beat Van Hansen, this could potentially be the last we see of him in superstar wrestling? I mean, that's a bold statement there.
Yep.
So you think that basically then superstar wrestling isn't big enough for the two of you, which means that Van Hansen, Mr. V to the H, he can then focus on his music career because he won't have a career in superstar wrestling. Is that what you're telling me?
Not that it's big, not that it's not big enough for the both of us, but more so the fact that he's been playing all these games nonstop, and I'm finally gonna put it to an end.
And the games have to come to an end eventually, right?
They will.
And I would take it then it's safe to say that you haven't got a chance to listen to his album that just came out last week, right?
Oh, I haven't.
You haven't? Yeah, but you have his shirt on though.
Well, like I said, I found it in the trash, so I thought like I would just wear it, before I burn it, and like how I'm gonna burn him at Summer Haze.
Well, it was nice that you at least saved the environment a little bit by obviously taking one shirt out of there, and at least you did your civic duty by wearing the shirt and preventing it from going to waste. But obviously burning it will certainly, at least in a way, still do others good. And I'm sure Mr. Hansen, I mean, he might feel one way, but I think the environment as a whole will be happy that you at least save the shirt from going to be permanent waste and obviously such like that. And I'm sure for the audience, they're very appreciative that you're wearing Mr. Hansen's shirt, and I'm sure Mr. Hansen is kind of quiet tonight. He's eerily quiet, Mr. Hansen. He's not here tonight. I would have thought Mr. Hansen would have been here, would have been very anxious to comment, and rather quiet. Van Hansen, do you think he's quiet because he knows the writing is on the wall, and as you stated, the games are going to come to an end, and it's going to come to an end so soon, and basically it'll mean that this will be the last we see of Van Hansen in superstar wrestling?
Yeah, he's eerily quiet.
Maybe it's because he saw and heard tonight that you're going into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame as the first, active women's wrestler and first full-time women's wrestler. And that maybe must eat him alive. It must really, eat at him and agitate him that, you're the first women's wrestler in our Hall of Fame. And that must make Mr. V to the H, be as inactive as the band with the initials VH, Van Halen. He's going to be as inactive as Van Halen, more or less, in a way. Maybe, he's got that split personality, kind of like a David Lee Roth. David Lee Roth leaves the band, quits the band, leaves the band. And, obviously the band becomes inactive, and maybe he's got that split personality. I'm not quite sure. I know that's a little bit not in his realm of genres. He's more of a traditional or more of a current death metal and obviously more thrash metal guy. But I mean, the point is that it seems to me like a rather quiet, maybe a somber Van Hansen tonight. And, it's because he sees the success you're having, and it's all gonna, for him, come to rear its ugly head in August at Summer Haze. Well, I guess that's a good way to put it all. I know that's why I'm on the radio each and every week on Sportswire Radio. I want to give another plug here, because if you haven't got a chance, I want you to support Lydia. Lydia is on a couple of different platforms. First of all, she is on Instagram here. So if you want to get in touch with her, you want to book her, you want to obviously see her for your show, whether it's Summer Bash coming up July 5th, July 7th, or any place out there. Maybe if you are in the PWI 500, maybe if you are one of the writers, maybe if you are somebody out there, hit her up. She's one of the premier wrestlers around. She's got shows that have got 1,000+ views already, 12,000, 3,000, 2,000. All of her matches on YouTube generally draw thousands upon thousands of views, and especially when she morphs into Baby Cupcake, you just never know what can happen. You can follow her there. You can follow her also right here, and this is where you can see all the stuff here from her, and make sure you see her because she lets it in her. It's the story of the witch and the beast, and she certainly morphs into that witch and that beast when she goes out there and goes out and does it. And Van Hansen very well may find all of that out coming up here in August at Summer Haze. It'll be Superstar Wrestling show. They're first of all back in the ring, though, July 20th. Lydia will be there. She's our Love Drafts Ultra-Violent Champion. She is also the Amplified Wrestling Women's Champion. She's going to be back out in the ring for them this Saturday. Rocky's Pizza, free show in West Virginia. Andrew Lovelace is going to be there. A slew of other stars are going to be there. And I guess Mr. Hansen or Mr. Mike are going to be there. That'll be rather odd and interesting, more or less, but that'll be, I guess, for a different promotion and a different show to kind of figure out. A slew of guys that regularly come on Sportswire Radio will be there. You'll definitely want to get a ticket. You can also check out Lydia Myerz on Patreon. Yes, she has a Patreon page. You want to check her out there. You want to subscribe, support her, and all the things that she does. You can do that here right in this link. That's if you want to get in touch, you can subscribe to her Patreon page, and I'm not quite sure. There we go. There the link. Sometimes technology freezes on us, but if you want to become a member, all you need is $5 a month. It's $5 a month at a minimum. $15 gets you VIP. Maybe you can, I don't know, watch all of the matches you can't see on YouTube. Maybe you can obviously get her on Discord. I'm actually on Discord at Sportswire Radio. Also, if you want to check her out, she is on Facebook as well at Lydia Myerz. And join the conversation with her. She's definitely on a lot of social media platforms. You can find many of her matches. She is really one of the premier women's wrestlers around the scene. We are very honored to have her here. And I'll be back here at 10 o'clock Eastern time. I will be here with Tristan Taylor, who is now one of the owners of the Pride Wrestling Federation. Specifically, he is Pride Wrestling Federation Mid-South's owner, and he's going to talk about that plus his role in the Underground Wrestling Alliance. He's also going to talk about what's to come there and his return at Anniversary at Infinity Wrestling. A lot of great stuff ahead. 10 o'clock Eastern time, but right now we have about 20 or so minutes with Lydia Myerz, and you can follow all of our links here. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all wrestling matters. Please go out there and support Lydia. She is also our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. And Andrew Lovelace, of course, the be-all, end-all. He's now the be-all. I like how he's at the end-all. He's just the be-all, and now he's no more the end-all. He's looking forward to Summer Bash. That'll take place from July 5th to July 7th. That starts next Friday in beautiful Bremen, Ohio. It's the biggest event of the summer. You're going to see 15-plus promotions there. Pros, indies, backyarders, undergrounders, everybody else in between, a bag of chips. As my old friend, Downtown Julie Brown, would like to say. Andrew definitely knows who Downtown Julie Brown was. And Lydia Myerz is no Downtown Julie Brown because she's got a lot more skills and she can certainly kick a lot more ass in the ring. But we're certainly going to take this off on the screen. Okay, so obviously we've talked a lot about that. Anything else you want to add to it, Mr. V to the H, or anything else you want to add?
I will see you at Summer Haze, August 15th.
Fair enough. We'll leave that at that. Let me ask you then this question. Halfway through the year, I know we've asked this before, but what are your further goals for the rest of the year?
Like I said earlier, to be a part of the PWI 500.
Well, that considered done. That clip's going up on Instagram. When I'm off the air the second time, because at this point I'm like the Energizer Bunny. Well, not really, but I mean I'm on this. I'll have another one of this in a little while, but that's going to certainly be a clip on Instagram. Mr. Hansen will wait. The PWI 500, that's a personal one because what you've done in the ring, all the matches you've had, all the success and all the things, to me, you really belong and deserve to be in that PWI 500. That's to me where, you're really going to make your mark. And it's also important because that's where a wrestler truly gets their flowers. That's to me where, you get that opportunity to say, hey, and that helps open up a lot of doors. Vito Fratelli got a lot of doors opened up with the PWI 500. That's why you really want to go out and support this woman. Let them know. Tell everybody that they have to go out there, and we'll certainly see what happens there and everything else in between, and we'll see about all of that, and we'll figure it out. You wrestled Taylor Rooks a couple of months ago. I'm going to put that up on the screen shortly. What was Taylor Rooks like as an opponent?
Taylor Brooks, she was interesting. It was our first time meeting. Won't be our last time. But I did like her style, and I do see her growing a lot more into the business. Um, she has a lot of energy, just like Taco. I see a lot of energy in her, and I also do see that she too has the love for this business. And me personally, I'm just enjoying the ride, just watching her grow.
Are you? We're watching the match here. I'm curious on this question. Tell me your thoughts. Do you find yourself now at this point in your career with the success that you've had to maybe want to give advice to other wrestlers, whether it's actually male or female?
Yeah. Uh, I'm always getting advice, looking for advice, and I, if I can take what I learned and teach it to others, then I just feel like I'm just making the business itself better as a whole. Like it's not just one person, it's not just me, it's not just you, it's not just them, it's all of us together making it better.
It's a really solid, by the way, solid opponent here for you. Really, you could see in terms of how you guys are working together that there's definitely, just from the very opening here, that you guys would have some chemistry. And I think people would like to see you guys run it back a little bit here because, again, we can see as an opponent, she brings out more. We saw kind of, I mean, there was a mix of comedic, a mix of hardcore, a mix of, you morphing into Baby Cupcake, what we saw with El Taco Loco. But when it comes to you and Taylor Brooks, I see of somebody that's a peer of yours, and I'd like to see more of this in the future.
I would as well, and she brought it. She didn't hold back at all. She got me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching the match here now, and it's like you're seeing a lot of action here, a lot of really, really
Yeah.
cool spots and really good stuff that I think keeps the crowd interested. And I think the crowd was into this match as well.
Oh, they were. They loved it.
It kind of fits to the setting where you're in. It kind of had a kind of like you're kind of at an open, almost like an open bar, kind of open outdoor, indoor venue, and you guys really fit the ring here. And speaking of wrestlers in the Pennsylvania scene, I want to give a big shout out to my guest tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern time, Mr. D Savage. I don't know, have you been on a show with a D Savage? He was just at 814 Wrestling this past weekend. He's also a Pennsylvania guy. I don't know if you've seen him or the Surge, the Power Surge. He literally, Power Surge is so big that he looks like literally as big as a Power Surge out, like this long 24-foot cord that I have that's putting all my lights up on. But I wonder if you ever cross paths with them. But obviously, Mr. D Savage is here. He's going to be wrestling this Friday at NEW Underground Wrestling's Riot in the Ring. He is wrestling D'Angelo the Flame. He's got a few things to say about that. He wants to say hello. So I don't know if you've crossed paths with a D Savage, but he does say hello. But you're obviously on your heels a little bit here, and it's quite a back and forth match. Again, a total opposite of what we saw with you and El Taco Loco. This is more of a competitive back and forth match so far.
Like I said, she brought it. She brought it. She didn't hold back. And her uppercuts.
And you're getting mad now, boy. I wouldn't want to be in a ring with you when you get like that. That you have rage against the machine, more or less. Mr. Hansen's probably not going to cover that on Winds of Time, but that was a nice little move there she just pulled off. That was a really good move. She's got some fire. I got to tell you what, Taylor Brooks has got some fire. I mean, I tell you what, that's, she's somebody out there that, I'd like to see more of in the ring. I think that's definitely somebody that keep an eye on if you're out there watching and listening. And then you certainly made the right move by getting out for cover there, because if that would have connected, but there you go, ram into her with some type of spear, and then you're pushing her right back into the turnbuckle, and you connected with some form of offense there, which I couldn't quite see due to the referee, but you come back and, drag her back into the turnbuckle, the other side of the turnbuckle, and you're kind of ramming her almost into, with some head blows, and she's kind of a little bit down with it. Her ribs certainly took that, and nice little move there, almost like some sort of I guess mini X Factor or some type of offensive move, and you now look like you're about to literally put this one away. And she definitely is feeling something there, and it's about to be almost was a 2.5, and definitely give us subscribe, hit that subscribe button to Superstar Wrestling. Definitely, they're close to 1,000 subscribers. Definitely check them out. And that punch looked like that was going to hurt, but you went right back. And I'll tell you what, like I said, Lydia, champ, this is a good match. I'll tell you what, this is a match I want to see a little bit more of. We see the nice little back and forth. You both are trading barbs here right now. This is certainly getting the crowd worked up. You could see it right now. And I tell you what, Taylor Brooks can beat up some people that come on this platform. And that was a nice move there you did. I think that's the Death Matters, and that looks like it's going to certainly matter because it's all, oh no, she just got up in the nick of time. You must have thought that match was over right after that. But
I thought that.
You thought it was over. Yeah, I could see why. But it looks like you're going to still come back and correctly as a veteran. You went back on the offense, and you're about to, it looks like, put this away. We'll see if it's about to be. And yet we got a Bronco Buster in. That was the X Factor, and that's the Death Matter. And 1, 2, 3. Nice match. I mean, very, very good match. Short, to the point. Definitely like to see more from that. We'll take this off the screen. Go hit them a follow. And that's that. But yeah, nice win. No, I'd like to definitely see more of that. Let me ask you a question before we get to closing thoughts. Is there anybody you'd like to face that you haven't yet in the scene? Is there anybody that's, out there wrestling that you'd like to have a match with? Could be male or female, because you wrestle both. You're actually in the unique position that you kick some ass in both male and female wrestlers.
I'm just waiting for Kid Mike to really, put his money where his mouth is and go one-on-one with him.
So it's Van first, though, right? Then Kid Mike, huh?
Yeah. I'll take care of Van Hansen first, and then Kid Mike. That is if he's up for the challenge.
What did you think when Mr. Hansen posted his match with you a few months ago on his YouTube page right after we spoke? What did you think of that?
I think that's fine. I have no problem with that, with him posting that match or any matches that we have together.
Oh, really? So you actually, you don't mind that? I would have thought you would have had some type of response to that. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Well, you know what? I guess we'll have to see. We'll let the talking certainly come to a head. First of all, you're going to see Lydia Myerz, June 29th, Enterprise and Amplified Wrestling's upcoming show, which I'm going to put the poster for one more time before we get to closing thoughts here. And as a reminder, I'll be here at 10 o'clock with Tristan Taylor. He is the new owner of the Pride Wrestling Federation's Mid-South. He's reactivating the PWF, which was originally owned by Atomic Titan, but now it's splintered into actually two groups. And I'm actually one of the owners of the other group, which is the Pride Wrestling Federation based in Iowa. Yet a New York guy owns a portion of the Iowa Fed. Yes, Lydia, it's a long story, but in the meantime, you'll be there at Vinnie Mania. I'm really looking forward to that. Vinnie Mania, we'll have a lot more coverage of that. We see a bunch of different guys that are usually on the show here. Of course, we see the likes of Ace Christian. I just had a birthday recently. Mr. Judgment, of course, everybody knows who Mr. Judgment is, especially if you watch this platform. There's Van Hansen, there's Kid Mike, and we'll certainly see what else is ahead. You can follow Enterprise and Amplified Wrestling. You can check them out on Facebook. They're also on YouTube. A lot of great stuff ahead. Please go out there and support the guys. And, of course, I'm in the Hall of Fame for Enterprise and Amplified Wrestling. So, you have to support them because that's the one Hall of Fame. I mean, the ironically enough part of it, Lydia, is that I'm not in my own Hall of Fame, but I'm in somebody else's Hall of Fame. So you have to support Enterprise and Amplified Wrestling. And I have no doubt that you will and everybody else. And we'll certainly see what Mr. Hansen meant by we are corrupt, but yet we don't lie. And I want people one more time to follow Lydia on a whole list of platforms. You can do that here shortly, which I'm going to put up right on the screen one more time before we get to closing thoughts. Lydia, it's been an absolute honor as always to have you here on Sportswire Radio. I can't wait to see you again here. Maybe after, from what you say, it'll be the end of Mr. Hansen, or the last we see of him when it comes to superstar wrestling. Maybe I'll get you on before that. And your schedule is always busy, but I want to give you the floor. I want to give you some closing thoughts. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say? And congratulations again on being the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Couldn't think of a better person to be our first women's wrestler in the Hall of Fame. Also, first of our 9th class in the Hall of Fame. And I want to pass the baton to you, champ, and I turn it over to you and fire away.
My closing thoughts are, I'll see you Saturday at Rocky's Pizza if you're going to be there. Come out, it'll be fun. Watch some good old-fashioned wrestling. Have some wonderful pizza.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. As a New York guy, pizza, I mean, I'm in. I wish I lived near you guys because I'd be ready there. I'd be getting there early, and I'd even donate. I would be so happy to be there. I wish I lived a little closer.
It'll be fun.
I can't wait.
I'll be there. Hanson, Kid Mike, Mosh Pit, well, Chris Winters. I don't know what this the I don't know. I don't know what happened. Who is this Chris Winters guy? What's his deal? And then we have Superstar Wrestling later on in July, on the 20th. So I'll see you there too at Scotland Community Center in Carlisle.
Oh, I know Carlisle. Sure, I know Carlisle, Pennsylvania very well. Absolutely.
We'll be there at Scotland Community Center. And then, once again, we will be at Love Draft for Summer Haze, which will be, a.k.a. the end of Van Hansen.
Well, I have no doubt that Mr. Hansen will certainly have a response. I kind of am under the impression that he's very somber tonight. He's very quiet because you are being honored as our first women's wrestler in the Hall of Fame, and he knows this is a celebratory night. He got to obviously, I'm sure, figure out a way not to be here because he saw this was a day to honor you finally and, recognize all the great things that you've done in this sport. And it's long overdue. And the fact that you could be in the PWI 500, I'm sure is going to certainly drive him crazy. But obviously, we'll see. Eventually, it all comes to a head on August 15th. And it's crazy, Lydia, because I was in Manhattan yesterday. I was working. I was working one of my jobs, and I was like, oh boy, it's already almost the end of June. That means in a few months it's going to be cooler weather and we're going to be toward the fall. And I don't even want to think about that right now. But obviously for now, we're getting ready for July 20th, July 20th, August 15th, June 29th. Some great shows ahead with Superstar Wrestling, Love Drafts, Ultraviolet, obviously Amplified, Enterprise. All great stuff. Please go out and support both places. And also want to say hello to my buddy, Mr. Drake Golddragon, who unfortunately was the longest reigning champion in Resurrection history. He was the national champion, but lost to King Rage. And he's in a rage because he wants to come back on the Sportswire Radio, and I have to find a date for him. But we're going to do that probably in a couple of weeks from now. So if you are out there at Resurrection Wrestling or out there in NEW Underground Riot in the Ring crew, I will be here at 10 o'clock Eastern Time with the newest owner of the Pride Wrestling Federation from the Mid-South, Mr. Tristan Taylor. So 10 o'clock Eastern Time, definitely check us out there. So this is a warm-up, but if you are here right now, Lydia Myerz is our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. She's the first women's wrestler to be inducted into our Hall of Fame, first full-time women's wrestler. She is also the Ultraviolence Love Drafts Ultraviolence champion. She's also the Amplified Wrestling Women's champion. She's going to be in the ring in a few different places. Also, hello to Zilla. Zilla is like our resident, just says hello to everybody, Lydia. But if you want to follow Lydia Myerz, there's a few more ways to do it before we sign off. I'm going to put that link up one more time. So if you're on Instagram like D Savage, if you're Drake Golddragon, you want to get in touch with the champ, you want to get some advice, you can definitely check her out here right there. That is her link. She has a Pro Wrestling Tees page. She also has a page on Facebook at Lydia Myerz. Please go out there and support her. And also, Mr. Golddragon wants to congratulate you. We all want to congratulate you because you definitely are a superstar. And yep, D Savage seems to know you. He calls you the champ. You are definitely the champ. You are Lydia Two Belts. That you definitely are. And I know that so many people are so happy you're back here on Sportswire Radio. But champ, congratulations on all the success. I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for us here in this sport. I am looking forward to watching you here in the ring this coming weekend. Also seeing you throughout the summer, July and August, especially for Superstar and Love Drafts Ultraviolet. We'll see if it all comes to a head with you and Mr. V to the H Van Hansen. He has definitely been as quiet as an inactive as it was, the band Van Halen, but I have no doubt that's not his cup of tea, and I have no doubt he'll have a response for that next month on Sportswire Radio. Thank you for all that you do. Congratulations on all the success, and we will definitely see you very soon. All right, that was the reigning defending champion from Amplified Wrestling, their women's champion. She is also the Love Drafts Ultraviolet champion from Superstar Wrestling there. That is Lydia Myerz. She's the Queen of Zababa. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. If you want to follow Superstar Wrestling, you can do that here one more time on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube especially. Check them out on the YouTube page. They're getting close to 1,000 views. All their matches, all their shows get updated regularly. Huge shout out to everybody in Superstar Wrestling. If anything we can do to help them, please let us know. I'm on Discord at Sportswire Radio. I'm on Facebook at Sportswire Radio. Facebook at Tom Bryce. Instagram at The Sports Report 2021. Also YouTube at Sportswire Radio 6579. Hit that sub button for us. We're closing in on 1,000 subscribers, but especially hit that sub button for our friends at Superstar Wrestling. If you're on sportswireradio.org, you're going back to your regular scheduled programming. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Twitch, I'm about to say Twitter, but it's now X, I'll be back here in about 90 minutes with Tristan Taylor of the Underground Wrestling Alliance and also the Pride Wrestling Federation Mid-South. But until then, congratulations, Lydia. Thank you for officially making this platform now All Wrestling Matters. Thank you for officially being our first women's wrestler here in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. And until then, I'll see everybody in a little while. But good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one global radio station, that is Sportswire Radio, the church of officially All Wrestling Matters. And I'll see everybody in a little while with Tristan Taylor.